Greetings and welcome to video number 16 of Greater Reality Healing. Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Pitstick. To learn about my training, experience, and outreaches, please visit soulproof.com/about. And please watch previous videos if you haven't already. Finally, articles mentioned in this video are free at soulproof.com/articles. In this video, we're talking about key number 15, and the theme, of course, but just to remind you, is that this program's about optimal grieving, journeying from deeply grieving to brightly shining. And this key is learn about the Soul Phone Project, because there's so much hope, inspiration, and empowerment that comes from it. Research by Gary E. Schwartz, PhD, and his team at the University of Arizona has now definitively demonstrated scientifically that life continues after bodily death. That's a huge statement, right? Let me say that again. Definitively demonstrated scientifically that life continues after bodily death. The scientific proof is, needless to say, extraordinarily comforting, inspiring, and empowering. As mentioned in the introduction, Dr. Schwartz is a former Harvard and Yale professor, now Professor Emeritus at the University of Arizona, where he directs the Laboratory for Advances in Consciousness and Health. Dr. Schwartz has been researching the question of survival of consciousness, which is how it's put in more scientific clinical terms, for 25 years. And he's been assisted and is now by a team of electrical engineers, software specialists, developers, evidential mediums, and what we call the A-Team. That is a group of about 30 stellar post-material luminaries, people like Einstein, Edison, David Bohm, Nikola Tesla, and others, who were geniuses, pioneers while on Earth, have continued to work on their particular areas of expertise and stand ready to help us on Earth. They want to help us heal ourselves and our world. By the way, we are told through the evidential mediums, and we look for 2 or more independent reports to consider something to be probably true or quite likely true, that for every one of these 30 A-Team members that we deal with, there are hundreds more waiting in the wings, but we just can't accommodate those numbers yet, their input, but we will be able to in the future with the Soul Phone technological devices. Now, since 2016, I've been the spokesperson for the project. I've assisted in the research. I've been intimately involved in strategic planning and implementation, and directed the Soul Phone Foundation until its dissolvement this year, and dissolved for good reasons. So I know a lot about this, and 2 paradigm shifting events that are planned for later this year, 2025, include: first, official announcements of scientific proof that life continues after bodily death. This will be a global event. We'll have a professional publicity campaign and help, because we know we have only one chance to make a great first impression. And this is such important news. We want to do it right. So right now we're getting all the infrastructure in place: books, papers, the scientific data, etc. The second event this year is demonstrated communication with post-material persons, and that is using the Soul Switch, which is the first of 4 anticipated Soul Phone technologies. These demonstrations will be done online, not in person, for security reasons, but also so that we can reach people truly all around the world. I believe that these 2 events will be like the penny floating in the air moment for Demi Moore's character in the movie The Ghost. I won't give anything away really, but If you haven't watched it, Ghost, be sure to. If you have watched but don't quite recall, this is when Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore's boyfriend, was killed. She is very deeply sad and doesn't believe in afterlife, but a psychic medium, Whoopi Goldberg, is helping bring Patrick Swayze's presence to Demi's awareness. And Whoopi says, make a penny float in the air, because that's a thing that Demi and Patrick had. Penny for your thoughts, penny for your love, I forget exactly. But he did. It took a lot of work on his part, and he had been practicing it for some time. But when she saw that penny floating in the air, and Whoopi said whatever their catchphrase was, that was the moment where Demi awakened. You know, she had her spiritually transformative moment. And we consider that many, many people around the planet will have that when they see the scientific evidence and also see the demonstrations. We base that because we know that many people have had their eyes awakened, had spiritually transformative experiences after just one good medium reading. A medium comes up with, say, 2 details that he or she could not know. It convinces the subjects oftentimes, unless they're totally closed-minded skeptics, which in case they probably wouldn't be going to a medium. It convinces them that their loved one is alive and real and in contact and communicating through the medium. So just think of the impact of these soul phone, the announcement and the demonstrations. So widespread awareness of that, because we're looking for a collective effect here, in conjunction with the Greater Reality Healing Program and the other 3 programs, and a number of other things, can sufficiently dissolve fear and engender hope to improve your life and the world. My mom benefited from all this just 2 weeks before she passed on. We were very open in conversation about all this since I was 18 and starting in college. She was fascinated by evidence for life after death and so on, and I shared with her on a regular basis updates on the soul phone. So it was clear that her bodily death was on the horizon, so I said, now Mom, remember, stay alert for our invitations, our contact to interact via soul phone technology. And she, in her feeble voice, this is actually the last conversation we had on Mother's Day, she said, I'll do my best to do my part when I'm contacted. It's like, wow. I mean, how cool is that? You know, say, I'm going to miss you and all this. Or being afraid I'll never see you again, that's the end. I'm saying, talk to you soon, you know, see you soon. So what a wonderful way to say, see you later, not goodbye, since she knew that life after death is real and we would be in touch. You can visit the soulphone.org website to learn more about the Soul Phone Project, to watch free videos, get the monthly newsletters and updates about things, and also the updates about when these official announcements will be and the public demonstrations. And you can learn about the anticipated soul phone devices. So just briefly, those include the Soul Switch, which is what we're working on now. A switch is a binary device that provides yes or no answers to questions to post-material persons. The Soul Switch, to consider to be practical, a breakthrough switch needs to be 100% accurate, or nearly so, and 10 seconds or less response time. Now, the switch is never considered to be a commercializable service or device. Rather, it is a component of the Soul keyboard. So just like you're probably in front of a keyboard right now with a number of switches, well, this Soul keyboard will have different switches that post-material persons can touch. They may have to hunt and peck because the early switches may be 3 or 4 inches cubed, but they'll be able to type out, and so they'll be texting and typing. That will first be a service until we get all the wrinkles worked out, make sure it's secure, it cannot be abused, and then perhaps later take home devices for that. This is also how we consider, and so how wonderful will that be, with your loved ones, your family and friends. And then also, this is how we will get a greater quality and quantity of information from the A-team and other scientists, educators, true leaders, etc., who can convey their information from their more lofty realm that can help those of us on Earth. After collecting more information, we hope that things will really take off for the next device anticipated, which is called Soul Audio, which is like talking on the phone, hearing their voice, and then Soul Video, like we're doing now, like teleconferencing, seeing and hearing. And the goal is to make that 3D holographic, so it's the next best thing to being with them again in person. So that's big things, and there's a lot of work to do. But Dr. Schwartz says that based on everything now, he considers it's no longer a question of if these devices are going to happen, it's a question of when. Suggested action steps for this key: visit the soulphone.org website, learn more about this life and planet-changing project. Next, share it with others. Share this wonderful news via social media, your groups, in person, every way you can. And finally, think about which post-material loved ones you would like to contact, what you would like to communicate to them, what you would like to ask them, because the day is coming where you'll be able to do that. Might be a couple years before the Soul Keyboard sessions are available, but that's not very long. So, to learn more, see articles number 35, The Soul Phone Project, and number 44, Soul Phone Project Updates. All right, that's the end of this video. We'll see you for the next one, which is key number 16, focus on evidence-based information versus erroneous, archaic, just wrong teachings. So we'll see you for that. God bless. Let it shine.